Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. Carlos writes in and says, Tom, for all the women who treated you like crap, meaning me, the rest of womankind will pay the price. I love it. No doubt that your advice works. No doubt that you know what you are talking about. It is about time that men are slowly starting to regain ground in society, with you at the helm, leading the way. I am writing to thank you for your advice that has affected me in a deep and profound way. I got married at 26, and only in retrospect, and of course, after listening to you, it was with the wrong person. Well, anyway, I landed a new job that forced me to move, and to make this long story short, my wife refused to move to the new city with me. She gave me all kinds of sorry excuses why. The bottom line, though, was that she was too busy messing around, going out with bitchy, mouthy, divorced women, and no doubt screwing around. My brother kept asking me why she hadn't moved with me, and I would make excuses for her. He encouraged me to leave the bitch. I would hear him, but I was never listening. One day, I found you by accident. Started tuning in a week late. I happened to be driving home listening to you, and this whore calls to bitch me out. Because of you, in that instance, I grabbed my balls from 4 states away and I let it all out. I told her that we were done. She's an effing bitch. I'm divorcing her, and I was tired of it all. After that, I started getting laid more often by hotter, younger chicks. And get this. 2 months later, she calls to say she is sorry and that she misses me. Again, because of you, I stood my ground and told her that I've been going out with several chicks. I don't care about their feelings. I don't care about her feelings. And I told her I'm having a great time staying away from people like her and getting laid with no commitment. Thanks, Dad, for my renaissance. You're the greatest. Blow me up. Carlos. P.S. She made me wait 6 months. Wow. So here is somebody who, had he heard Leykis 101, if he heard his professor earlier, none of this would have happened. None of it. And now he's gotten the message. He has turned his life around. He turned his life around because he became a student in the Leykis 101 classroom. Now, Leykis 101 may be the most controversial thing we do on the air. People write about it, they complain about it, they refer to it, they revere your professor, they loathe your professor. They call in, they call me names, they send me nasty emails, they threaten me. But one thing is for certain. Millions of lives have been turned around like Carlos. Millions. We've been hearing from them for years. And every once in a while, we like to get those success stories, and you know the ones I'm talking about. The ones where you got your balls back, the ones where you treated a woman like crap, and she came back for more. The ones where you double-shifted, the ones where you spent no money, the ones where you bought her the Egg McMuffin and then broke up with the bitch. You know what I'm talking about. Those of you who have taken the 101 course here, those of you who studied hard and then gone out into the field, taken what you've learned, and then reported back to headquarters here to let us know exactly how things went. The vast majority of you find yourselves getting laid more often, listening to less BS, wasting less time, spending less money, and banging more chicks. So if you have been a student here, maybe you were skeptical in the beginning, but you began to see the virtues of not dating single mothers, or you began to see the virtues of 3 strikes, you're out. How many more women you could date if you stopped wasting so much time with any one of them? That's what we want to hear about this hour. Here's Carlos, who waited 6 months for that bitch. And as I have continued to say, if you wait 6 months to have sex with anyone, it's not worth the wait. Do you know how this affected me? I'm going to tell you. The most I ever lust after a woman is in the beginning. As time goes on, the longer it takes for her to put out, the less interest I have. And eventually, it shows. I can't tell you how many times I lost interest to such an extent, the same woman would then be begging me to go to bed with her, and I would say, I'm just not interested anymore. I mean, there's nothing a woman hates more than to be rejected or to be not the center of attention anymore. There's nothing she hates more than that. But, and by the way, may I say, I followed my own rules over the years, but every once in a while I've broken my own rules, and I've paid for it every time. Every time. Anytime I waited more than 3 dates, you'll be waiting. The most I ever waited for somebody was 6 months, and I didn't get it after 6 months. And the woman could not figure out why I wanted to stop dating her. 6 months! That's the woman I've told you about who went on a cruise with me. She was a 10. She looked great, and the whole cruise thought I was the luckiest guy in the world, except we had never had sex. And finally, on day number 7 of the cruise, I'm not getting any, I finally said, after I had a few drinks in me, I said, what is this all about? You spend all this time with me, you're in bed with a flannel nightgown on, you say goodnight. Nothing has happened between us. Why? And she told me she'd read a book. And the book recommended saving yourself for marriage. So even though she'd given it up to all the guys in the past, she was turning her life around, and starting with me, she wasn't doing that anymore. And my response to that was, well, you're not doing that with me either, because I'm not marrying you, and I thank you for finally telling me what's going on here. A little truth in labeling would be appropriate, like you go on a date with somebody, say, by the way, I won't have sex with you for at least 6 months, or by the way, I won't have sex with you until we're married. Or, by the way, I'm a virgin and I'm staying that way. Why don't women tell the truth about that stuff? Ladies, you're out there. Is it because you want the free dinners and drinks? Is it because you want to be the center of attention? Is it because you're delusional and you think that men go out with you for reasons other than wanting to get laid? And I'm amazed how many women out there think they can have a real relationship without sex. Ever dated a woman for a month or 2 months, and she's actually calling you her boyfriend or actually telling people, oh, I'm dating him. But the two of you have never had sex? Never? It's delusional. This is the 21st century. I have seen this, and I have been through this, and it's been the times I've broken my own rules, and I must tell you that as much as I have rules here, just like you, I have broken these rules from time to time. I told you I dated a single mother, but I paid for it. I learned the hard way. I did. It blows me away. And here's Carlos here, waited 6 months, and look what he got after 6 months of waiting. This bitch. Anyway, if you have been a Leykis 101 student and you have got one of those success stories for us, we want to hear all about it.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
You want to know why women wear makeup and perfume?
Why?
Because they're ugly and they stink.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. All right, this hour I'm talking to Leykis 101 students who have major league success stories. I love hearing when you boys go out into the field and practice the principles of Leykis 101. It's driving women crazy. Either they put out or get dumped. That's the bottom line here. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Dave on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Dave.
How you doing, buddy?
Do you care, Dave?
I do, Dad.
I'm doing great, son.
I have got a story for you.
All right.
When I was 19, I started dating this one bitch. And my dream was to become a police officer. And I started going through the hiring process when I was 20 years old with the state police here in Oregon. And I had made it through all steps of the process, through the background investigation. They started interviewing people that were closest to me. And this bitch decides to tell the police officer that I was verbally abusive and I was borderline alcoholic and just a whole spiel of crap because I was spending more time focused on college and getting to be a police officer, and I wasn't focusing as much time on her. So, and the end result was, didn't get the position, stayed with her one more year after
By the way, what have I said about women?
They're attention whores.
And they're dream killers.
Correct. Well, about a year later, I ran into you, just by accident on the radio.
Uh-huh.
Regained my balls, kicked a bitch to the curb, and I've just been having a blast ever since.
I'll bet you have.
I have. It has been an absolute turnaround in my life, thanks to you, Tom.
And now you're getting more ass than a toilet seat?
Absolutely.
Love
more
that.
More puss than a cat box.
Woo-wee.
That's what I'm saying. And it's all thanks to you, Tom. You are the man. You're the god. You're outstanding.
Thank you, Dave.
Well, hey, Tom, can you blow me up?
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Jeff on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, how you doing? The father I never had.
I am indeed.
Leykis 101's helped screw my head on straight. So many times I've had women take advantage of me. When you talk about the women that get knocked up and for the money for abortions,
Yeah.
that's happened. All sorts of things, and all the lessons helped me out incredibly.
Wow. Very good.
But very proud of it. I'm chasing my dream with my company in the past 3 years. I've taken the top award for my division twice.
Wow.
It's just been women go up to the bar, sit, and just act like I'm not interested. They'll come up to me. It's great. It's wonderful. Put my head on straight. Never been better.
And now you don't have some bitch get in the way of your career.
No, and I had one that anything I wanted to do, she wanted to shut me down and yeah, basically wanted to try to tell me what to do. And it's all over with. Don't waste any money on them anymore. A lot happier, a lot more successful, just pursuing my dream. Studying wine and spirits.
Love that.
But just wanted to thank you. Can't thank you enough. You're doing good work. I don't know why women have a problem with you. They don't respect the pussies anyway.
Because I'm ruining it for women. Are you kidding me?
Well,
All the women have been getting all these free meals, all this champagne, all these shots of Jägermeister, trips. They get sometimes from some guys clothes or condominiums, rides in limousines, whatever they've been getting over the years. Now they have to put out or they get nothing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Oh, and not only that, they're not even... You know, a man never paid a prostitute for sex. They've only paid him to leave.
That's right. Well, look, if you have to listen to a woman blab incessantly, at least she should be having sex with you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. What else are they for?
There you go. Sounds good to me, Jeff. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Johnny on the Tom Leykis Show. It's Leykis 101 Success Stories. Hello.
Hello, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I actually went out on a blind date with this woman, and we met in a neutral place in a parking lot in Sherman Oaks, and she hopped in my car and said, well, where do you want to go? I said, well, what do you have in mind? She goes, I know a great little restaurant. So she took me over the hill down in around the Beverly Center
Yeah.
to a restaurant that supposedly is owned by Robert De Niro, from what I understand.
I'll go.
That's the place, yes.
I've been there.
She brought me in there. She sat me down. And the waiter walks up and says, well, he'd like the wine list. She gets up, excuses herself to the bathroom. I'm like, what? So I look at the wine list, and I think $40 was the cheapest bottle of wine on the menu, if I'm correct. The meals ran like $70, $80, $90, $100 a pop. And I thought, I just met this girl 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this. I feel like she was working me,
Yeah.
So she came back. I was tempted to get up and leave then, but I didn't. She came back from the bathroom, and I asked her, I said, don't you think this is a bit much? I gave her a chance for some salvation here, But she offered nothing. She looked at me like waiting for me to, crumble. And I said, well, I just think this is kind of a bit much, I said, on a first date. She goes, really? And she was just, she looked at me, and I said, so you want to stay? And she said, yes. I said, well, enjoy your meal. I got up and I left.
Very good.
I hopped in my car, and I let her find her own way back to hers. And I never talked to her again.
I love that. No, it's always a good idea to have a place in mind and to say what the place is as a guy. For example, if you were there in the San Fernando Valley in Sherman Oaks area, a great, cheap place to eat is the Great Greek. Have you ever been there?
I've seen it. I've never been in it.
It's spectacular. If you like Greek food, it's the best Greek food in Southern California, among the best I've ever had. Really good.
Yeah.
Ventura Boulevard, yes. And
I'll take that.
It is on the south side, the north side of Ventura Boulevard. Spectacular.
All right.
No, it is the south side. I'm sorry.
Well, I wanted to thank you for your advice, because throughout the years I've said a lot of what you talked about in my own way. And when I finally caught on to you, maybe in 95 or 96 on the radio,
yeah, I
said, finally, there's somebody, because I've always been called a dog, a pig, a this or that for saying these things. But it's amazing how when women say the same thing about men, God, if you ever utter the word bitch out of your mouth, I mean, you're just, pardon my French, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's amazing. I'm really finally glad to see somebody speaking up for the fellas.
Oh, somebody had to do it. I mean, television is nothing but a nonstop orgy of male bashing. That's all it is.
Oh yeah, I'm sick of Gloria Steinem and the whole. I want to take her to female foxy boxing. But anyways, Tom, can you take me out Kobe style?
Of course I can, Johnny.
This is about us. She's so special to me. It beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Let's say hello here to Doug on the Tom Leykis Show. We're talking about Leykis 101 success stories. And hello.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, son.
I want to tell you, went through a divorce about a year and a half ago.
Right.
I figured, hey, I'm going to take 5-6 months off. I'm going to get my head straight.
Yes.
Stay away from women. Going to, just work on things on myself and just get myself happy. And besides, I was flat broke. Ex got all that stuff. But started going to a gym. I wanted to work on myself. I'm ignoring the women in the gym. And it took about 3 weeks. And I've got these ladies coming up to me and asking me for phone numbers, and I fought it off for 3 months and finally decided, hey, I'm letting a good thing go here, and started working that. And I didn't have any money. I couldn't afford to go out and spend $100 on a meal, let alone $40. So, Leykis 101, my solution was to go to the grocery store, buy $20 worth of food, $9, $10 bottle of wine, and say, hey, let me come over to your house and cook you dinner. I'm already at their house. I'm doing such a romantic act. It's so nice of you. No other guy has ever done this for me. And as far as single moms, you don't find too many single moms at 23, 24 years old. So it's been using Leykis 101 works, and you don't have to be crass about it. All you got to do is figure out your finesse and use it.
That's right. Once you get into the groove, you find it really becomes second nature.
That's right. And I've got 4 women right now, and I will say I've got a gal that I've dated more than 3 times, but I'm just waiting because I know it's going to be good, but I'm not spending any more money on her, and I'm not giving up the other things I've got going. But And I'm getting ready for spring break in Las Vegas. We're going down here in 2 weeks.
All right. Sounds good to me, Doug. Thanks a lot for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. Miriam on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Okay, here's my situation. My guy doesn't put out. I've been going out with this guy for a couple of months. Everything is great about him, but the sex, you know.
The sex isn't good, or there isn't any?
Usually guys have to beg. I have to beg for sex.
But wait a minute. The sex isn't good, or there isn't any?
It hardly is any.
And what reasons does he give you for that?
For the first month, he was like, I haven't had experience. I'm a little insecure. I don't know if I cannot perform, blah, blah, blah. And then, it's been like 3 months. I'm like, okay, so...
Why do you tolerate it?
Because, I thought I should give him a chance. He's a great guy.
You gave him a chance. I see, again, you're not following the 101 rules here, and that's why you continue to be unhappy, and it's not going to get better. The sex in the beginning, as I always say on 101, sex in the beginning is the best it ever gets.
So I know you say, guys, it's impossible to change a guy.
Yes.
Even about sex? You cannot...
About anything.
Oh, don't tell me that.
I'm telling you that, and I've told you that many times.
That's right.
Do you remember I said the sex in the beginning is the best it ever is?
Yes, I do.
People don't develop a lust for you over time.
Okay.
They lust after you in the beginning. Now, I told you, there have been people in my life I've lusted after, and after they made me wait and wait and wait, I lost interest.
That's what's happening to me.
Yeah, but the thing is, you need to step it up, and that's what 101's all about. Stop wasting time. It won't get better.
Okay. So what do you think is the reason of a guy is not that into sex?
There are people who are not that into sex. It's also possible he's not that into having sex with you.
No, that's not the case.
How do you know?
Because he's the one who's been bragging about us being monogamous, and he wants...
It's easy to be monogamous when you're not having sex.
I know. That's, everything else is great, but...
But you don't have a relationship. He's your pal.
You're right.
And the result is you can't see other people because you're monogamous with a guy who won't have sex with you.
No, it's frustrating. I'm going crazy.
Well, but you have to put an end to that, dear.
Right. Okay. All right. Thanks for the advice.
You can always be his pal.
Uh-huh. No, I don't want a pal.
All right. Well, then you know what you need to do. But here's the deal. Now, most people I talk to lately, I say, you know what? You know what you need to do, but you won't do it, will you? Will you or won't you get rid of this guy?
Maybe I will keep him as my pal.
Well, I'm telling you, it's not going to work out as a relationship. It's not. Especially if you have needs.
Ugh. Yeah, reality is harsh. All right.
All right.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Miriam. Appreciate the call.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
We want what you have. Boom. But you want what we have. Money, power. So our job is to withhold that from you.
Are you trying to turn the men into gold diggers then? Is that you mean?
No, not quite. We're poon diggers.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Leykis 101 success story this hour. Lilia, hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Lilia.
Okay, got a little bit of a situation. Been friends with this guy for over 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Been hitting it once in a while. Great sex, lots of fun. I was very upfront, said that it wasn't going to go anywhere further than that. And then the other night he says he's falling for me.
Uh-huh.
And
And he can't get up.
I didn't quite. No, not quite that.
All right.
I didn't know how to respond. I'm just like, oh.
Well, here's how you respond. Goodbye.
Really?
Right.
Even after a 2-year friendship.
There. This is not a friendship. It's a booty call.
True. True. Yeah.
Time to go.
Okay. I guess that means that I can just call the 5 other guys that I've got on the list.
Of course. You've got other plates spinning. Go there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. Thank you, Professor.
I'm here to help, Lily. What can I say? 1-800-5800-TOM. It's the success stories of Leykis 101. This is Jeff on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello, Jeff. What's going on?
Hey, I wanted to share my story with you.
Okay.
I was dating a single mom, and I was dating for about 6 months, and then I recently had started listening to your show and realized that I thought you were a little bit too extreme. I was like, because she's a really good girl and everything. But and then I realized that it wasn't for me because I was so young, and the fact that her children started calling me daddy.
Uh-huh.
And her dad was actually, the dad of the children were actually in prison.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, it wasn't a good situation. So I finally realized that, and I got out of that, thankfully, thanks to realizing that you were right, and, of course, I was wrong. The dad is always usually right. And what I do now is I've graduated as an English teacher, and in the evening time, I teach at the local adult school. I teach English as a second language to the newly immigrated Spanish-speaking people.
Oh, really?
To nice, young, Spanish-speaking women that have come to America seeking a better life. And I take them under my wing as an English teacher in more ways than just the language.
You wouldn't take advantage of that, would you?
Oh, that's one of the reasons why I did that. I thought, how can I get more? So I thought like my dad would and took an opportunity.
I understand.
So thank you very much, Dad.
Well, son, I'm happy to help. This is Tom on the Tom Leykis Show. It's the success stories of Leykis 101. Hello.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, son.
Hey, I got a couple of good stories for you. The first one was about 8 years ago. The PGA Tour was in town, so I decided to go to the local bar as a PGA Pro. That worked pretty well.
Did it really?
Oh yeah, I put on the ugliest outfit I had: the white shoes and the silly slacks and a goofy hat, and they were just flocking after a while.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I was talking it up good. A couple of buddies of mine, we were just hooting and hollering like there was no women in the place, and they just latched right onto us.
Now, did you skim some of that trim?
Oh, you know it.
Really?
The other time, I printed up some cards that said attorney at law, went up to the fanciest place in town in my nice duds, pinstripe suit, and they just, once again, just out of the woodwork, here they are.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah, and I'll tell you what, forget the Honda Civics and forget the excursions. Go get yourself a limo stretch, because you park that bad boy out in front of a restaurant, and they know you mean business.
Now, what do you really do for a living, Tom?
What do I really do for a living?
Yeah.
I'm an engineer at the Department of Transportation.
Now, have you tried the one I recommended yet, where you tell, no matter where you live, you tell them you're just there temporarily while your house being redone?
Oh, yeah, that works well with the limo.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I just have about 3 of them one night. Take them out, do them in the limo, dump them to the curb, head to the next spot.
Now, see, now Dean said that breaks the $40 rule, but if you had 3 chicks, you're amortizing the cost.
Well, it's not if you own the limo, Tom.
Oh, you own the limo?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, if you price a used stretch Lincoln Town car, it's pretty reasonable when you count all the poon you're going to get.
Ooh, I love that. What'd you pay for that?
Well, at that time, this was about 8 years ago, and it was about 4 years old, and it was $18,000.
Oh, my God. That's great.
Oh, nothing like a stock bar to get them women loaded. And
so what, do you get a buddy of yours to wear like a chauffeur outfit, or what do you do?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did.
Then you invite the driver back into the seat with you.
All you got to do is switch hats, Tom. Hey, can you take me out with a screaming orgasm, a bong hit, and blow me up?
Of course I can.
Oh, God. Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Take some.
It's Les on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, son.
How you doing?
Do you care, Les?
I don't give a rodent's rectum, but I want to thank you.
Yes.
You have taught me so much. I started hearing your show when I was a PY ussy, and I wasn't getting nothing. And I got to tell you, when I first heard you, I thought you're outrageous, you're off the wall, but it was entertaining, so I listened. I eventually converted and realized you're dead on. Against my nature, I decided to try for an amazing conversion, and I couldn't believe it worked. I had a girl that I knew very close. In fact, she was a roommate, and she had this loser of a boyfriend. He was ugly, he had no good job, but he was getting this fine chick, and he treated her like crap. And she was always crying to me about, the bad thing he's said to her or the bad thing he's done to her. And I was the friend that she always came to and cried, about how bad he was. And I finally, after listening to you, I thought, this is never going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. So what I did was one day she called me and she told me how crappy he was treating her. And I said, you know what? I said, I ought to just come over, because she was at a friend's house at this point. I said, I ought to just come over there right now and just bang the crap out of you. And she was flabbergasted. She said, what are you saying? I said, you have never been more bangable to me than you are right now. And she said, why are you talking to me like this? I said, because you do it. I said, you just want a guy to treat you like crap. I said, I ought to come over there right now and bang the crap out of you and then just leave. She said, what, you can't say things like that to me. I said, I don't hear you saying no. I said, you're going to be there for another 30 minutes? It'll take me that long to get there. She says, well, you can't say. I said, are you saying no? I said, because I'm getting in my car if you're not saying no. I said, and you can make me a sandwich before I go. She just was flabbergasted, and she just put it off and put it off. And I said, fine, then whatever, it didn't work, but at least I told her what time it is. I don't want to be her friend anymore. I just want to bang her. The next night, she calls me up. She says, hey, you want to take me to a club tonight? I said, I got to work late. I can't take you to a club. She goes, well, maybe after you work. I said, well, maybe. I said, I don't know. I said, what do you want to do? She goes, just take me to a club. I said, all right, I'll take you to a club, but I'm not going to spend no money. I said, I'm not going to come and pick you up. You're too far away tonight. You're staying at your friend's this week. I said, you meet me there. She met me there, came back to my place, end of the friend story.
I love that.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show with Leykis 101 Success Stories. It's Devin. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Devin.
How are you, man?
Doing okay.
Oh, that's great. I got a awesome story to tell you. A couple years ago, I heard you talk about this on the radio, and I was just sitting there, and I'm just going, wow, because this really worked for me. Well, the story was that go over to chick's house, try to go get some. She doesn't put out. So I talked to her. I'm like, then why am I here? Right at that moment, I pulled out my cell phone and called up one of her friends. From there, I went over to her friend's house and did her. And apparently her friend must have told her or something like that. And it wasn't a week later, man, she called me back up, and I went over to her house and had sex with her, too. It was great, man. Oh, I've been listening to you for 5 years, man, and I'm 20 years old, so I started when I was 15 years old, man. I absolutely love you. I love your show. If there is a God, you are him.
Why, thank you.
Hey, could you blow me up, man?
Of course I can. Burton on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Burton.
I am the poster child for this.
Really?
Navy, young, married, with a single mother, listening to the Tom Leykis Show late nights, figured it out, dumped that bitch.
Really?
Big time. Longer divorce than I thought. But for all the retards out there that are listening, you know, I mean, there's only one thing that you can do. This many guys cannot be wrong that are doing this. Bottom line.
It's definitely true, Burton. It's definitely true. Leykis 101 every Thursday on the Tom Leykis Show. Our email address is my name. It's tom@blowmeuptom.com. That's tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.